Hey, this is Thomas with LibertyFoxDefense.com. I've had a lot of requests for these Foxy Tuck holsters, and I want to do a take two on the video. I got some additional details I want to add. So first off, safety first. You are responsible for your safety, both in gun handling and in protecting yourself from bad guys or goblins, monsters, etc. So let's talk about first what I like about the Foxy Tuck and what hundreds of my customers like about the Foxy Tuck. First off is comfort. I've had so many people rave about how comfortable the Foxy Tuck is with a full-size auto, a compact, or a subcompact. Many have said it's more comfortable than a range holster or outside the waistband holster. Today I am wearing the original Foxy Tuck that I built several years ago. And so comfort, concealment, and safety. So the very primary mission of a holster is safety. It has to keep the gun safe. It's got to keep the trigger guard area covered. And then if it's not comfortable, you're probably not going to have your gun, which means you're not going to be safe from attack, an unexpected attack. The other thing I really like about the Foxy Tuck is it acts as a funnel. So you have your pants covering the weapon, you have the belt covering the weapon, and then you've got the kydex. And a lot of holsters will just have one single point where the holster attaches to the belt system. From here to here is about 10 inches. So that entire part is covered. So you can notice how easily it snugs up against my body. Another key aspect of holsters is you need to be able to deploy your weapon in under a second. If it takes longer than that, then it's a compromise. Okay, so on my website I've listed a lot of advantages of the Foxy Tuck. I'll just talk about one of them. Is it's at this right level, right? If it's up high, which is what I used to carry, is kind of a pancake, and it was too high. And even with a torso as long as mine, it was difficult to present. I'd have to lean, all that silliness. So let's get back to safety. All guns are always loaded. Never allow the muzzle to cover anything you're not willing to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on the target and you intend to shoot. Be sure of your target. Okay, that's the 4 universal safety rules. I also like a fifth one, which is always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Okay? It's fly season here where I live. Okay, so a funnel, and you see where I carry right here. This is about 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So 3:30 is about right here. 3:30, 4 o'clock is right where you want to carry, okay? Some guys, I've talked to dozens of guys out of carrying at 6 o'clock right on your spine. You get hit on your back, you've got a fight-stopping injury, pain, and your spine is, small, very complicated, bones, tissue, nerves, etc. Your hip bone, you fall, you get in a car wreck, and you fall on your hip bone with the weight distribution of a Foxy Tuck, I believe you'll be just fine. After a while, the leather will perfectly form fit to your body. Right? This is a Gen 1 warranty exchange. This is the only holster that's ever come back for, and I had to talk him into for several months. A good friend of mine, Mike, you probably recognize this. I had to talk Mike into giving up this holster when I saw it, and he is left-handed. Right? I was like, let me replace that for you, and he wouldn't, and I said, come on. So let me come up to the camera. And the kydex is fine. right? Good definition on the Kydex. The leather is what is a little worn out, and this is Tandy leather, crappy, junky leather, and it served him well. He's super comfortable. And then I went to a Gen 2. This one's a Gen 2. Is the Wicket and Craig leather. I'm not sure you can see that, but this is the best leather on the planet, in my opinion. But I would finish it. This leather is for a Gen 3, and it's a little thicker, it's a little bit more finished, and I had them do a stamp. And so they just stamp these out and mail me a box already cut out. So now I can do a little bit higher volume without compromising quality. So again, 3:30, 4 o'clock, there's a magic spot. And it could be a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. When you find it, it's super comfortable. So I can make a holster for any gun. I've done exotic guns. This is a CZ75. This is the first one I've done. I've done a couple Beretta M9s, a whole bunch of 1911s, Glocks, XDs, M&Ps, you name it, I built it. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I have the gun for almost any holster. If not, if you're local, I might need to meet up with you, or you can come to my shop and I'll build it with you. The other huge advantage is getting a weapon mounted light. So let me go ahead and do a presentation. There's nobody down there, so that's going to be my downrange. So if you've got a jacket, you can just flick it and go down. But I've got a loose shirt, Hawaiian shirt kind of a thing. So you grab in front and behind, you pull up, and then you pull the garment towards you. You go down, you get you that good combat grip, and then close contact, and then your hands come together, and you either go to the guard or the ready, or you go up onto the target. Right? So here's a flashlight, and I would like to see all my customers get a holster for a flashlight. 80% of attacks happen at night, and you cannot shoot at shapes in the dark in your house or on the street. Okay, you have to identify the target before you can morally and legally use deadly force. Okay, so if you have a weapon mounted light, it's just as simple as you get in your normal stance and you turn on the light. Oh yeah, that's a bad guy, he needs ammo. And I'm not going to get into tactics of turning off the light and using your tritium, etc. But that's super simple. Versus present to the ready and then grab your flashlight in a Harry's technique, right? That'll work. But if you got the flashlight right there, use the weapon mounted flashlight. So you can't manage the recoil as well as one-handed, and your gun may malfunction. And you know, it's just, Harry's technique is awesome. But okay, and then to reholster, check the gun, everything looks good. Pull up your garment and come back to the guard, to close contact and holster, right? At no time did I cover any of my body when I did that, right? Grip, close contact, guard. I wish I had a dummy gun, a rubber gun, but if you don't get professional training and you're presenting quickly, you have a chance of cranking around into your hand. That's why your sport hand always comes to your stomach. And you know, different people like lower, higher, medium. I like it about right there, so my gun comes together. So seek professional training. Okay, another key advantage of the Foxy Tuck holster is I believe they're worth twice as much as I'm charging for them. go to any quality holster maker, something that's going to last you a lifetime, and you're going to be close to $100. Oh, I was going to bring my slicker. There's, for the leather on the Gen 3, we do a nice wax edge on the leather. Okay, and that is a device that cost over $600. Gear and pants, right? You see I've got a pretty loose fitting shirt here, and I can deploy that weapon in less than a second. For inside the waistband, a little micro adjustment for your belt can make the difference between too tight and too loose. So I like the belts that have micro adjustments. I can go here, or I can go just a little bit tighter, or I can go a little bit looser. The ones that have an inch hole in their leather, an inch tighter or looser is quite a bit difference. Okay? And I used to wear these into the office, and they've got kind of a, this is a Black Hawk, this is the 70/30 nylon cotton blend, which I really do like. But these are way tactical. They got the big loops, they got the big rear pocket, they got a mag pouch and cargo. I mean, it just screams tactical. One thing I did really like is a nice looking discreet extension for your gun. So it had that on both sides. I love the TacLite Pro 19 or 511s for the range, but for everyday carry and fitting in, these are the same as those, but they're all cotton, and you can tell they're all beat up. They got holes in them. You know, this pair of pants was trashed in a year. That pair of pants took about 4 years, and now it's a little ratty to go into the office. Here's another Black Hawk. These are the pants I've been wearing for almost a year, and they're the Vertex Phantom, and they have a lot of the tactical features, but here's the cargo pocket, right? And they have normal size loops and normal rear pocket, and this is what I'm wearing right now, right? I have my big fat phone in here, and once you kind of get them, I'm a big fan. So let's talk about options. When you order your Foxy Tuck on the website, there should be an option. If you want a mag pouch, which I'll cover in a different video, select that. If you want a dedicated weapon mounted holster, and that's all you want, then I'm going to do that for a normal price. If you want both, which is what this customer wanted, he wanted a non-weapon mounted light shell, and this is the shell, and he wanted a weapon mounted flashlight shell, and so he's got screws here instead of rivets, which is an added expense, and then it takes me probably half hour to get this professionally done. So the price is on my website, and the weapon mounted light that I'm recommending is the Streamlight TLR3, which is what I have on my nighttime gun, and just happened to be with the CZ75. In addition, your holster should come with a bonus screw. In case one of these rivets comes off or you lose this screw, you've got a bonus screw. Okay, we've been doing a test, and it's thread mate thread locker. It's not like super glue. It's more of a rubbery thing that goes on the screw, and you can just tighten it or loosen it, and it just feels a little gummy, which is good. And some people may not know that if you're going to, this gun. To tighten, what you can do is you can hold the back with your finger, and then if you go quick, then you don't need to hold it on the other side. And it's got little grooves in there to bond to the leather and not slip. But if you do it slow, it may not tighten. So if you get a good purchase on it and then go quick, you'll get it screwed on. Let's talk briefly about everyday carry. I made this pouch. It's got 2 steel clips on the back. It's got a pouch for a flashlight and a pouch for a multi-tool. And I've been wearing this every day, and I love it. I started out with a taller flashlight, and it would, when I'm in the car sitting down, it would rub on my ribs. So, and then I highly recommend having a dedicated people knife, and this is a Spyderco Wave, Endura Wave. It's got about a 4-inch blade with the wave, which will catch on your pants as you pull the knife out. So it's stronger and faster than the switchblade, and it's not an assisted knife. So you know, depending on your area, it can be fine. Here is a Foxy Tuck for a subcompact. This is a single stack 9. I think these are about 17 ounces, 20 ounces, and snaps right in there. So these are really popular. Let's see. So old school cowboy guarantee, you know, we make you a holster, we support it for life. If you have any problems with it, get back to us and we'll make it right. I haven't had any of these come back. You know, I had to, this poor one with the poor leather, I had to talk him into giving it back. You know, I've got farmers that wear these every day, and they're out in the water, changing water. They'll get in the canal and forget they got their gun. You know, so comfortable they forgot they're wearing a gun, and they have to clean their gun, and the holster's fine. So my son and I build these, and we appreciate your business. Each Foxy Tuck is stamped with our website, the Foxy Tuck name, and a scripture, Alma 43:47, which says, "The Lord has said, you shall defend your families even unto bloodshed." And the shall, I take that as a commandment, that if monsters are attacking you or those that you love, you are morally duty bound to stop their attack. And so I hope you never need the Foxy Tuck and your sidearm, but if you do, I hope you're able to protect yourself, because we need good people out there. And again, sincerely appreciate your business, and please visit libertyfoxdefense.com. Thank you. Hello, this is Thomas with libertyfoxdefense.com. I would like to show off the Foxy Tuck magazine and talk about some of its key features. So the focus and mission of the Foxy Tuck magazine is concealment and comfort and speed. So you'll notice it's made out of a single piece of Kydex, which helps in strength and lightweight. So we got the .093 thickness of Kydex. So it took many hours to develop this Foxy Tuck Mag Pouch. So when you get your Foxy Tuck Foxy Mag Pouch, it may seem a little challenging to pull out. But once you put it on your belt, and with the aggressive belt loop retention, it'll slip right out. And so never would it come out. And we've got a retention adjustment screw with a rubber grommet here. Okay, so this is a full-sized magazine. Looks like it's 18+1, and very concealable under your shirt. You'll notice it's outside the waistband. So this is for a CZ75. So great value for these, and I suggest you get both a Foxy Tuck Holster and a Foxy Mag Pouch. Okay. On the last video, I didn't talk too much about some of the details as a maker of these, and as a shooter. You know, I don't know if I'd consider myself an expert. I still have about 9,000 hours to go. I have about 1,000 hours of professional firearms training, and probably about 3 times that of just firearms usage and training. So not quite an expert at 10,000 hours. But as a maker and as a shooter, I've made about 200 of these, and each one gets better and better. So I wanted to point out a couple of key features. One, you'll notice that we cover the entire gun, right? So if you look at where the muzzle is, it covers the entire gun. So that protects the gun from your clothing, and it also protects your clothing from the gun. The guns are typically sharp. They have sharp edges which can wear your clothing, and we work hard to do the edge work so it doesn't wear your clothing. The other thing you'll notice is we have a good sight groove to at least where the trigger guard is, right? Because when you're pulling these out, once you get past where the trigger guard is, then it can kind of float down. Okay. And of course we're going to cover the trigger guard, and of course we're going to get that good combat grip, right? Because when you grip your gun, you don't reposition, right? You get that grip, and a lot of guns, yeah, this CZ's is pretty aggressive stippling, but when I go down on my gun, it's more like this and then forward, because I don't know exactly where to go, so if you go like that. Anyway, don't get too much into gun handling. I think I mentioned a bonus screw, and I do like the steel clips. If you want a Kydex clip on your holster, that's fine. I love the burnishing. You know, we're going to protect the leather with a wax seal, and it's heated and rubbed in and impregnated into the leather, and it should last forever. And again, I can't overemphasize the importance of having a weapon-mounted flashlight. I wish all my customers would get those. You know, again, you can't shoot at things in the dark. You're never justified at shooting at shapes. Well, I was scared, so I just shot at something that I thought was attacking me. You've got to identify the target, okay? And you're not using a flashlight to blind them or to scare them or to disorient them. Its only mission is to identify the target, and if indeed they are a threat, to stop that attack. Okay. So, again, Doc Gun made me make these things, and now that I have them perfected, I would like to thank Doc Gun. The first one of these took me about 5 hours to engineer, and then after making, 10 or so of these, I would say these are ready for a release and production, and they're ready for me to put my name on them, and they're ready for me to stand behind and stake my reputation on. So the guys that have these, they love them, And you can use these on the range, you can use these on the street, you can get multiples, you can get 2 or 3 for the range. I would, if you're going to take a gun class, at least 2, probably 3. And so I'm ready to crank out the Foxy Pouch, Mag Pouch. So maybe someday we'll get the name straight. Thank you.